64, and we're trying to make our way through Michigan after we backtracked to Skeet, the North Shore Inline Skate Fest Marathon. So now, after being in Duluth, Minnesota for a little bit, we're backtracking. I'm going back to where we left off, and that's to head out towards Ohio, and then towards Pennsylvania, and then lastly DC. So we got about 2.5 weeks now, almost done. I honestly I'm getting there to that point of being done. So trying to get this out there as much as possible. The hard work that we put into this, it's just, to me, it got to a lot of individuals. It got to a lot of good people. There's people that got it out there as fast as possible, but I just don't think it was enough. I don't think it got out there when it should be out there. We put a lot of hard work into this, blood, sweat, and tears every single day, and it just didn't really go anywhere. So we did the best that we could, and it's frustrating, but I think our time is needing to end and close with the awareness. But yeah, I'll be collaborating with different skateboarders and skaters and possibly runners after the Great Skate Tour is completed, to keep raising awareness to MMIP. So the skating community is still trying really hard to get this out there. It's a lot harder when you're not a celebrity or you're not on the red carpet or anything like that. So I'm glad that it's getting out there as best as possible, because that's what we need to do. But 2.5 months of trying to do this, and we kind of just moved up just barely to get this out there. It's just a little frustrating. So yeah, I'm gonna go skate. So I'm wearing skate scooties, and they are amazing. So to cross over and walk over some heavy debris, put on some skate scooties. They're a silicone wheel lock, created by an amazing person who is one of our sponsors, or one of my sponsors. So check it out. Woo! Not a bad trail. We'll see though. I'm just in the beginning phase of it. It's beautiful. Trees are changing. Fall is here. Can't complain. Ashlyn Mike, 11 years old, Dene, abducted and murdered in 2016. Savannah LaFontaine Graywind, 22 years old, Spirit Lake Nation, murdered in Fargo in 2017. Hannah Harris, 21 years old, Northern Cheyenne, missing and murdered in 2013. Caceres Stops Pretty Places, 18 years old, Crow, and Northern Cheyenne, found deceased in 2019. Selena Not Afraid, 16 years old, Crow, found near I-90 in 2020. Olivia Lone Bear, 32 years old,
Mandan Hidatsa Irikara, missing in 2017. Faith Lindsay, 17 years old, Choctaw, disappeared in Oklahoma in 2019. Ashley Loring Heavy Runner, 20 years old, Blackfeet Nation, missing since 2017. Micah Westwolf, 22 years old, Blackfeet Nation, killed in a hit and run in 2023. Ella Mae Begay, 62 years old, Daneh Elder, missing from Sweetwater, Arizona in 2021. Mary Johnson, Tulalip, missing since 2020 in Washington State. Cecilia Finona, Daneh, missing in 2019, later found, murdered. Najoni So, Daneh, a young two-spirit relative, murdered in 2020. Nikki Kunghausen, 17 years old, trans girl from the Kolitz tribe, murdered in 2019. Devin Scott, Blackfeet, two-spirit, missing in 2022. Colton Bushy, 22 years old, Cree, shot and killed in Saskatchewan in 2016. Jason Corbett, Daneh, missing in 2021. These are only some of the names. Every one of them is a person who really mattered, especially to their families, who had a future. This is why I skate. Every mile was always for them, our women, our men, our two-spirit and LGBTQ relatives, for the ones still missing, for the ones taken too soon, and for the families carrying this pain every single day. I don't skate for the recognition. I skate so they're not forgotten, and that the families' voices continuously are being heard.
She doesn't care, 5 in the morning awake. She doesn't care,